I used to live up here actually, so until June, not June, until January, I was based in Leeds, so there's a fair few people in the room I recognise from. My background is I used to work for ACOM, so I've worked 14 years doing transport consultancy, all in the technology world, so things like UTMC, real-time information, all this sort of data stuff I understand. I got convinced by my new company to come and join the autonomous vehicles revolution. So starting in January, I'm a project manager there. Hayley is part of our marketing team and leads a lot of our MCAV initiatives. So she's going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about the technical side of things. Before I start, I'll give you a very brief introduction to our company. I appreciate we've only got 10 minutes. So yes. So we've been going for 3 years. We are a software company, and we provide a lot of the software support services around autonomous vehicles, so fleet management, operations, customer side of things. We are looking to go into autonomy, but we're probably going to look more to work with partners and vehicle manufacturers to that side of things. So this presentation is a very brief and hopefully quick overview of some of the projects that are going on in the West Midlands, some of our projects, and Hayes going to talk to you a bit about MCAV, because what we want is MCAV reaching out to other groups and other organisations, because we believe that autonomous vehicles is going to be more than just typical vehicle manufacturers. So I want to ask a question to start, see if who's awake first. So if I say level 1 to 5 autonomy, who understands what that means? Wow. That's really impressive, actually. Yeah, so I won't have to tell you then about this, but I cleared the slide because I never quite saw the audience. So I asked this question yesterday, actually, at a Future Transport conference. It's about half, so it's actually quite impressive. So I'm going to skip that because you all know that, so that's fine. So as I said, I want to talk about a couple of projects ongoing. This isn't one of ours, so I don't know too much of the details, so don't please ask me in-depth questions. But you may have heard of the Autodive project. That was one of the first connected autonomous vehicle projects. That's been going for 3 years and is nearing its completion. I think the interesting thing about this, and actually one of the credit to Milton Keynes, Coventry, Transport for West Midlands, was they got a range of manufacturers involved, a range of different vehicles. So Jaguar Land Rover has been testing in Coventry. I know they've been working on parking scenarios to date. Milton Keynes, in conjunction with the Catapult, have been doing lots of work around the pods. So they've been doing small-scale trials, and they're now getting about 40 to 50 vehicles that are going to be running around doing public testing. Moving on from that, the recently announced project, which is in conjunction with Transport West Midlands, Amy, Myra, Costain, is establishing a network of infrastructure. So this is another real-life testbed, but this is more centred around actually it's centred around data. And what's the interesting part for everyone here is that they will be installing lots and lots of wireless and connected infrastructure, and they want to be reaching out to vehicle manufacturers, startups like ourselves, to go along and test it, see what data they can get. Now, there's also opportunities, obviously, for other people who want to see what the implications are. This is the idea of this, is to actually understand what technologies are required, what's the right hardware. I'm not going to name any names because you told me not to, but the Transport Westmans are here, but he can ask him questions. I've told him not to name names so he doesn't get asked questions now. Oh, hi Ed. But yeah, talk to Ed. He will try his best, but please also be gentle on Ed because he's only just started, so his colleagues know all the information. But anyway, so coming on to some of the projects we're involved in, our 3 projects are centred around the Heathrow pods. If you've ever flown from Terminal 5, they're the ones that have been running for the last 10 years. So they connect the terminal building to the hotels and the car parks. They have been very successful. They get amazing customer satisfaction ratings out. People really enjoy the journeys. They've saved hundreds of thousands of carbon emissions. But if you can just about see in the picture, they have to run on fixed tracks. So Insight's our first project. That's one that's been going the longest. That is to really prove the technology, to prove the autonomy. It has a particular blind and partially sighted focus. So we are involved with focus groups from that community, looking at, particularly for them, if there's no driver, how can they interact with a vehicle? Because often, if you have any kind of sight impediments, then you rely on the driver to tell you stuff, really. Like, am I in the right vehicle? Am I getting in the right place? So we're looking at technologies such as virtual concierge, something like Cortana, Alexa, something we call a 4D tactile, which is like a dynamic tactile map. Yeah, that's that one. And then the next project is Synergy, and then I need to really sell this one because I know Transport Greater Manchester are in the room, so hi. So this one is a step up, and it's looking at more of the advanced functionality around it. Part of that demonstration is around platooning, as you can see in the picture. So we will be testing whether we can get vehicles to run very close together on the A6 Manchester Relief Road. The plan was to do that before it opens. I know there's obviously been issues around that, so we're still working out the scheduling of it. But again, it's another real-life demonstrator, and looking at what the infrastructure and technology requirements for that. We're also, from our point of view, looking at sort of mobility as a service, freight as a service, a lot of the data concepts with it. And then probably one of the ones we say, in some ways, all our projects are great, but in some ways we say it's the most prestigious primarily because the demonstration got involved in this one. So Capri has demonstrations scheduled to happen in the Olympic Park and the mall in Bristol. Just being in the Olympic Park creates a lot of massive press, really. And one of the interesting things about this one is we have done co-design work, and I think this is a fairly unique concept for the autonomous vehicle world. So we've had 40, 50 members of the public come to an event in Bristol in March. They're from a range of different backgrounds, ages, and we got them to actually participate and say, what do you want to do? What would you like an autonomous vehicle service to look like? And part of that work was to get them to how we described as show us, not talk about it. So we had all sorts of crazy things there. So you want to see there's Lego. So one of the groups put together a Lego demonstration. We had stop motion videos. It was really good. It was really interesting because it showed what the public thought, and also it actually told us, I think one thing I took away from it was there's no one answer. Like even simple things like payments, we were told, oh, we want to use a transport smart card, or we want to use contactless payments. Oh, actually, I want to use a mobile phone app. So I think we need to think about these things that it's not going to be one answer. That's the projects. So, Hayley, I'm going to switch over.
Yeah. Thank you, John. So Midlands Connected Autonomous Vehicles, really, it was established last year, just over a year ago. And it's a networking and membership platform for driverless and transport professionals, and it really is it's a flexible platform as well. So it's a platform where if you're involved in cybersecurity, IoT, blockchain, any of those, AI, anything like that, it's an opportunity for those industries. Also for local authorities, car manufacturers, anything along them scale. If you're involved in autonomy or driverless or the future of transport, it really is a platform to look out for. It was established by Conidigital late last year. It really was to address the issues of collaboration in terms of across the UK. So there wasn't much talk, not much networking, not much talk about other people's work. So it really was to establish those issues and to try and get people talking, have collaborative opportunities and partnerships, and help to build that valuable network so that ultimately it will accelerate the growth of autonomy in the UK. So our first event was in June last year, and this really was to just establish the key partners, the key influencers that are in this sector, and we had a lot of key influencers that were there. So we had Evershed Sutherland, PwC, Tesla. We had quite a large variety of and every single one of those attendees, which was probably roughly around 100 or so, were all key drivers in the autonomy world at that time. And it really was an establishing point for us, just as a host event. We then, from that, conducted our second March event, which was even more successful than the first. And this involved 130 dinner attendees. Again, each and every one of those had a key valuable input into autonomy industry. We had the likes of Jaguar Land Rover and Microsoft involved in those events as well. So we're really starting to expand the variety of contacts that we were having to be able to participate in these events. Also 60 seminar attendees. Again, it was standing room only. We couldn't fit people in the room. The interest and attraction was so great that it really shows that it's a platform to look out for and to help your company with growth. So what can MCAV offer? So basically, I think the key thing to point out here is MCAV, it really does have a very varied contact base. So we really can offer the contact system for your company, you know, and everything like that. So obviously we can help with business introductions. Another key point we're starting to look at is special interest groups. So we're really starting to focus around if you're focusing particularly on a research topic, or if you're an expert in a certain field, we really want to hear from you, simply because if you were to become a member with us, you could actually host or champion this arrangement or group, and you would be then in charge of organising certain events, and we would obviously help and promote you with that, with marketing promotions and the contact base that we do have. We also offer other free discounted tickets, other benefits associated. We also advertise your marketing. That's just a given from where we're standing if you're a member with us. So yeah, we are also thinking we're moving. So off the back of the March event, we managed to get quite a lot of opportunities that derive from that. So we had European kind of but European opportunities with Climate Kick, and also other international opportunities for Knigital in itself. So this is the reason why we are soon to be starting to look towards international connected autonomous vehicles rather than Midlands connected autonomous vehicles. And it is a work in progress. So stay tuned. I will leave you, I don't know if this video can work, but it would be a video of the highlights of our March event, but I'm not sure if it can play.
I think time-wise we're out of time as well. So,
okay, that's fine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A quick question, have you connected at all with the Cambridge Wireless activity? So, I mean, they've been doing this kind of model for a long time, haven't they?
I'll come back to the thing. So yeah, actually, there's a family relationship between our founders and Cambridge Wireless. So yes,
okay,
we're actually attending Cambridge Wireless, their annual conference, and Cambridge Wireless are getting into transport world. So
yes,
so it's an interesting one. The comms world is seeing that transport world is joining together.
Yeah, I mean they've been moving into that space for quite some time. But yeah, good to know you connected. Excellent.